And we are live. That's right. As the title says, fanboys, you reap what you sow. And what do I mean by that? I mean, keep the same energy. There's been a lot of people saying a lot of fighters have been ducking, from Tyson Fury to Teofimo Lopez, etc. Now, Errol Spence Jr. pulls out of a fight. Now you have the other side of people saying Errol Spence Jr. is ducking. See, this is the problem with when certain channels spread certain narratives about other fighters. It always comes back full circle. It always comes back to your guy. And that's the problem. If people didn't spread these false narratives, they would never be spreaded when it comes to their favorite fighter and they get hurt. Now, do I believe Errol Spence Jr. is ducking Manny Pacquiao? No, I do not. Do I believe that he was more than likely injured? Yes, I do. Do I believe he was getting beat up in sparring? I do not. Just like I don't believe Tyson Fury was getting beat up in sparring. But this is my point. You had a bunch of people who came out and said that Tyson Fury was getting whooped all around the ring, and that's why he postponed the fight. Said he had, we know what the pandemic's going around, and that's why it really got postponed, because he was getting beat up in sparring. However, now rumors are coming out about Errol Spence Jr. looking bad and getting beat up in sparring. So if you were spreading the rumors about Tyson Fury getting beat up, you only have yourself to blame about the other side spreading rumors about Errol Spence Jr. getting beat up. This is why spreading these false narratives for clickbaits is dumb, because eventually your fighter will get injured. Eventually, your fighter will make a bad move. Eventually, they will show that they are human, because we are all human. That is why spreading these narratives are stupid. And some people sit back and laugh and just watch everything settle. Watch the dust go up and the dust come down, and look at where it settles. Now, it's awfully funny how a lot of people are hush mouth on Errol Spence ducking, but it's so quick to say these other fighters were ducking. Just recently, Benavidez pulled out of his fight, which is crazy, So you got to understand, there's a real pandemic going on. People catch, or they could be getting false positives. We don't really know. But whether you believe it or not, when you say you don't believe it, then best believe some people will start to call out your favorite fighter and say they don't believe their excuse. And you have nobody, again, like I said earlier, to blame but yourself for spreading these rumors, again, for clickbait. Now, I want to get into this for the playback, and anybody who joins, y'all are more than welcome to join the panel. But I want to say this. A torn retina, which is from all the channels I've been on, all the articles I've read, is what Errol Spence Jr. currently has. A lot of people don't understand the severity of this injury. I'm going to assume that he really has it. I'm going to assume that a guy like Errol Spence, who has been in there with the who's who's of the welterweight division, at least in the younger guys coming up after Pacquiao, after Mayweather, and the Sean Porters, the Danny Garcias, etc., the Kell Brooks, whatever. I'm going to assume a fighter like that would not be scared to fight somebody, especially after he's put in a lot of work in training camp. I highly doubt he would just pull out of a fight. But a lot of people don't realize the severity of his injury. See, a torn retina can lead to a detached retina. The problem is, if the tear is bad enough, it can allow fluid to fill up in the eye, which causes it to separate from the retina. So a torn retina can lead to a detached retina if you don't get to a doctor fast enough. Now, sometimes the tear is not bad enough to where it requires surgery. Sometimes it is. But if it is bad enough to require surgery to fix it, you better get on the ball and do it as quickly as possible, because when your retina detaches, separates, it can actually cause you to go blind. Not only can it cause you to go blind, but even when they reattach it, you may never see the same. Like sometimes when people get the retina reattached, they almost look cross-eyed. Their eyes don't look the same because of that. So it's a very severe injury, very severe. So it's good that he has taken this time to get himself healthy, because the one thing that Manny Pacquiao would have done to Errol Spence is hit him in the eye, and he would hit him in the eye a lot. And again, if he would have went blind in this fight, he would never fight again. Hopefully they've caught this soon enough, quick enough, to where this won't be a career-ending injury. but I don't know because there hasn't been any medical documents released. And do believe if no medical documents come out, people are really going to go in on Errol Spence Jr. They're really going to go in. Hold on one second. Let me send this text. Let me see. Experts said it's not false. Spence was getting handled in sparring. And again, it was Bob and John Fury that put out the rumors of Tyson Fury and Jared, member of Jared's team, and Michael Hunter basically said so. Well, Michael Hunter never said that. Michael Hunter said that Tyson Fury wasn't looking as good as he normally does. However, he didn't think he looked bad enough not to go into the Deontay Wilder fight. That's what Michael Hunter said. But we don't know how true that is. All I'm saying is you reap what you sow. When people spread rumors and say one person was getting beat up, that's why the fight was delayed, best believe when it's a fighter you like does it, people are going to spread that same rumor because that's the president's. And you know what, expert? I'm going to drop the link if you want to get on. So it sounds like to me you think that Errol Spence was actually ducking Manny Pacquiao by writing that. I'm going to let you explain yourself if you want to jump on. Sounds like you believe Errol Spence is a duck. Sounds like you think he got scared, stopped in his tracks when he seen them training videos of Manny Pacquiao throwing them 500 hit combos, and the Killer Instinct guy coming out combo. Actually, it would have been an ultra combo. Ultra combo, because that's what Manny Pacquiao was looking like. He was looking like Killer Instinct. He was looking like he was doing a finishing combo on people when he was shadow boxing in the air with 1,000 people watching him, 1,000 people running with him. You know, Manny Pacquiao got a whole island. He said, Killer Instinct, that's right. Manny Pacquiao gets selected. You hear Spinal, or you hear Saberwolf, Cinder, Glacius, Jago. Hell yeah. Like, tell me, regulator, that when Manny Pacquiao was training, that the Killer Instinct intro music wouldn't have been real good. Everybody would have thought he was the new character being added. Oh, man. But what's going on, Ronald? Ronald, you're more than welcome to join the panel if you want to. The link is out there. Expert Genius, the link is out there. Yes, Skeletor. Black, you're more than welcome to join the panel. But y'all probably missed what I was saying at the beginning, but pretty much all I'm saying is you reap what you sow. When you spread rumors about fighters you don't like, don't be upset. Don't get your panties in a bunch. Pull your skirt down. Put pants on when people start talking about your favorite fighter. Don't get mad, because remember, you started the rumors. So when the rumors come back first, full circle, don't be upset, because they always come back around. That's how rumors work. Now, let me pour myself some water. Okay. What's going on? How you doing?
Hey, what's good? What's good?
Not much. How about yourself?
Doing all right. No, I don't think Spence is ducking Pacquiao. I think that the guy that they had brought in, you know, he probably took one too many shots and it, you know, messed up his retina. But I also think that that's a lingering effect that he didn't know about, and nobody probably looked at from the accident that he had.
It is a possibility, because a torn retina can go on for a while if it was a small tear without you knowing.
Yeah.
And like repeatedly being hit in the face could aggravate it to the point of where you're seeing blurry vision, not seeing, blackouts, you know, getting really bad headaches and like behind your eyeball, sinus cavities, stuff like that, swelling. So that could be a possibility that it happened in the car wreck and they just didn't know. You could be right. But I'm going to tell you this. I was on another channel last night. I want to say it was H Money's channel. And DT3 came on and he said that he had an inside source. And it didn't make a lot of sense to me, but he said what his source told him was that it happened from a headbutt in sparring. Now, there's a couple of reasons why I find that hard to believe. One, you normally wear headgear in sparring, and it'd be very hard because the way he made it sound was Errol Spence's nose got all busted up and his eye got busted up from the headbutt. So when you're wearing headgear, yeah, you could get a bloody nose, but it's hard to believe that you would get a torn retina or a detached retina from a headbutt with headgear on. And two, he said that it was a guy that they brought in to train in Manny Pacquiao style. Well, normally you don't see headbutts when it's traditional versus traditional or southpaw versus southpaw. And being that Manny Pacquiao was southpaw, they would have had to bring in a southpaw to mimic him. So really, the only time that you see a lot of headbutts that aren't like on purpose is traditional versus southpaw. So I don't really believe that it came from a headbutt because it'd be unlikely.
I don't believe that story. And I think you're talking about DC3 Boom Man or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't take anything that dude says seriously. But the guy that they did bring in was emulating Manny Pacquiao real good, but he's taller than Pacquiao. So headbutt things, I mean, I would say that a taller person couldn't do it, but I highly doubt that. Just like you, I highly doubt that.
Yeah, and that even makes it even worse that he was taller, because it's more than likely that headbutts are going to come from the shorter fighter, not the taller fighter. When they're coming underneath you and coming up to throw punches, that's normally when the shorter guy headbutts. It's highly unlikely a taller guy is going to be underneath you to headbutt you like that.
Yeah, but the leaked footage of the sparring and all that kind of, whoever leaked that, because I like you know I'm a Crawford guy, but whoever leaked that, they need to be fired. And to me, the whole Tyson Fury, Jared Anderson thing, Bob Arum and Tyson Fury's dad should never put that out there for people to run with. They should have just kept their mouth shut. Like, y'all not doing any. Whoever did that in Spence's camp and Bob Arum and Tyson Fury's dad, you're not making the situation better by doing.
Yeah, but here's the problem that I have, and I'm watching this leaked video on the side while I'm talking to you. Here's the problem that I have with Big John Fury, Tyson Fury's dad. You got to understand, these dudes, they always do like psychological warfare. They always tell you one thing, but that's always a lie. It's always something else. It's like a magic act with them. So I could see in a world. Hold on, just listen to me. Listen to what I'm about to say. I could see in a world to where they see Deontay Wilder looking better on the pads than we've seen him look, okay? We see him working on things we normally don't see him working on. So he does look better. Now, will that translate into the ring? I do not know, but he does look better, at least on the mitts. So they could be saying that Tyson Fury was getting beat up to try to get Deontay Wilder overconfident and make him not train as hard. There's always a flip side to the coin that could have a tactical reason of saying these things. You know what I mean?
Can you?
Yeah, you kind of went out. Go ahead, say it again.
I said true that.
But here's the thing. I'm watching this video with Errol Spence Jr. sparring, and I see him taking punches, but this is what I always say. Sparring doesn't mean anything, because here's the problem with sparring. This clip right here is 11 minutes, okay? Now, a day is 24 hours. He's preparing for a fight, so he's probably training anywhere from 8 hours to 12 hours a day, right? So let's just go with the minimum. Let's say he's training 8 hours a day, okay? That's 11 minutes out of 8 hours that he's training. What happened before this sparring? How much work did he do before he got into the ring to get looking this bad? How many sparring partners did he spar with before he sparred with this guy? How much road work was he doing? How long was he jump roping, shadow boxing, all the drills that he goes over, hitting pads? Was he exhausted already when he got in the ring against a fresh guy? You see what I'm saying? There's so many intangibles and variables that we don't know. That's why I don't take much from guys looking bad in sparring, because at the end of the day, you got to understand, you spar more than you fight, okay? So let's say a guy like Deontay Wilder, who early in his career, say we'll go his first 30 fights, probably didn't fight more than 46 rounds, okay? However, leading up to those 46 rounds from those 30 fights that he had, he probably did 400 or 500 rounds of sparring. So this is what I don't understand. If people think you're going to be perfect for 400 or 500 rounds of sparring, they're out their mind. You're not going to have your day. You're not going to have your round. It's going to happen. So, again, that's why I don't take much from sparring.
And I agree with you, because it might just be me. Even in that leaked footage, he looked tired.
Yeah, so, I'm watching it. Like
we don't know what he could be doing a lot of stuff before he got in the ring. But like I said, to me, he already in that 11-minute clip, he looked like he was already tired.
So, yeah, I mean, he does look very sluggish in here. He doesn't look like. I'm looking at his hand speed. I'm looking at his hip rotations. I'm looking at his body movement. It looks very sluggish from the start of the video. I mean, even I'm watching him throw hooks to the body. They're extremely slow. They're so slow that his sparring partner is adjusting his elbows down before he even gets the shots off.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, and if you right now, I'm watching the video, right? So if you look in the video, where was I at? I was at 2 minutes, around 2 minutes and 40 seconds. If you watch the video right there, you'll see a guy in the background behind the ring with the garage door open, and he's got his shirt off. He's got a guard on, you know, what you wear. It's like a big diaper that you put on in boxing. That's your nut guard. Yeah. He's wearing that with his shirt off. So he could have been sparring with Spence, and that's why he's out the ring with his shirt off, and he's got his guard on. So I know he either sparred or he was about to spar. So you got to look at all the things around the ring, too, that's not happening in the ring. And that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, he's looking bad, but I don't take much from this. Just like I don't take much from the rumors of Tyson Fury looking bad. It's just sparring.
Yeah, that stuff all that stuff just needs to be indoors. Like,
well, there used to be an unspoken code that what happens in the gym stays in the gym. In other words, whether you look good or bad in sparring, you don't go out there and talk about it, and you sure as hell don't show no videos of it. So
hey, that's just
I don't know what happened to that.
New era.
But I mean, if I was if I was still boxing and I was on a hike, because you got to understand, there's some things too that's bad about this. It's not just the fact whether you look good or bad. Okay, go past that. When people leak these sparring videos leading up to a fight, it lets another fighter and another trainer or coach, whatever you want to call them, get ideas of what you're working on. So now they can watch you spar and start countering what you're training for. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's also a tactical hindrance to you. That's why, like me personally, if I was still fighting, I would do NDAs. And if anybody brought this shit out because they're under NDA, they'd get the shit suit out of them to where it wouldn't be profitable.
Yeah, I agree, because it's too much of that going on now.
Yeah,
you gotta protect yourself.
Everybody want to be famous on Twitter, so they gonna put up videos as quick as they can.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here because I'm about to head into an area where it has really no signal.
All right.
All right.
Well, I appreciate you stopping by.
Oh, it's no problem.
What's going on, Ronald? All right,
yo, what's good, Tony? What's
How
good,
you doing?
Tony? How you doing? I'm chilling, yo. I'm just like amazed that this fight is off. Somebody said this fight was going to be off a week ago, but I didn't believe it. I could have swore they was going to go off for no hitch. Man, it's crazy.
Hold on one second. You gave me a flashback. It happened about a week ago. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, man. Like, jeez, man. PBC is like just dead in the water when it comes to like making like spectacular fights. Like,
yeah, they lost Canelo. They lost Canelo. They lost Spence, and now they lost Benavidez.
It's a bad year for PBC because they started out in the middle kind of okay, but the beginning of the year was shitty, and now all it is happening. Man, 2021 for them is bad, bro.
Yo, Fox might not re-up with them.
I don't blame them. They're not giving people what they want to see, like ESPN giving people what they want to see. You know what I mean? Dads are giving people what they want to see. But
Yeah.
why is American boxing so weak and try to make it seem like these dudes are untouchable? It's the worldwide of sports, bro. You gotta merge and get your fighter in with other networks if that's what the fight look like as a good match. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy.
All I know, Ronald, is after this fight, because this was supposed to be the big money fight for the PBC for this year, the Pacquiao fight. And if they would have got Canelo, that just would have been the icing on the cake. But really, truthfully, the Pacquiao fight is really probably what they were banking on to make their for sure money. Like they knew it was going to happen.
Exactly.
I think if I was in Al Heyman's spot, I would give Canelo whatever the fuck he wants. I would give him whatever he wants because if they don't get that Canelo fight to finish a big fight out at the end of the year, I mean, I know they got the Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, but that's not even 100% that it's going to happen. You have a lot of people saying that Tyson Fury is not going to fight him. So I don't know. Like, they could be in big trouble. I would just give Canelo whatever he asks for. Whatever he asks for, give it to him so you can at least make some money back.
Yo, that's all facts, bro. That's the same way I be thinking. Like, you know, Devin and ESPN are doing what they're supposed to do for the fans. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but it's just so limited with PBC this year. It's limited as hell as far as like good matchups. You know, that's all I really wanted to say. Coming to say what's up. You know, shout out to True Media. Shout out to Tony's Reviews. Shout out to everybody on this boxing shit every day. Let's get it.
I appreciate that. Let me flip over here because I see I got a comment that I had to accept. I hate this about StreamYard, y'all. So let me flip back over here. I always forget that I have to bring up YouTube to be able to see the comments because I just read it hasn't popped up on my StreamYard. It might not pop up on the StreamYard, but let me see. Pratic? I guess it's Pratic. He wrote, it's not his retina, it's his balls that got detached. Dang. So we got one in the chat saying that Errol Spence Jr., he lost his nuts. He got scared. Now, I don't agree with that. I'm just reading what people write. Again, but I'm not mad at it. I am not mad at anybody saying that Errol Spence Jr. ducked. I'm not mad at anybody saying Errol Spence Jr. faked an injury. I am not mad at it because so many people have spread rumors about other fighters. It's only fair. It's fair game. It's fair game. People want to call him a duck, they're going to call him a duck, and nobody better say anything. Keep the same energy. That's the thing that gets stressed over YouTube all the time. Keep the same energy. You got to. You got to. Look here. We got another one. Boom. Errol is a coward and a duck. Damn. Look said, not only does Errol Spence Jr. have horses and chickens on his farm, but now he's got a duck himself. I mean, that's the chat right there. They're saying that Pacquiao scared him, and I'm not mad. I'm not mad. Like the title says, you reap what you sow. When you start rumors, don't be mad when the rumors come back around about your fighter, because Pacquiao fans have every right to say whatever they want to say. Again, I believe that Errol Spence Jr. is truly injured. I believe he is. But I'm not going to disagree with anybody who doesn't believe it, because here we are, only, 2 weeks away? Not even 2 weeks away? Man, I'm dropping a link for anybody that wants to jump on. Virgil Ortiz versus Cal Velasquez. 12 round for the WBO International Welterweight title. It's also for the mandatory slot for Terrence Crawford as well. So what should be happening is Sean Porter, who really has gone media silent on this, should be, by the end of this month, it goes up to purse bid, should be fighting Bud. But again, media silence. It's the 11th, and we still haven't heard anything. There's only 20 days left in the month for the Bud and Porter fight to be made. And if it's not made by the 31st, it goes up the purse bid. However, it won't go up the purse bid if Sean Porter doesn't accept the fight. But that fight right there will be for Bud's mandatory. And it's going to be a very good fight. I think Mean Machine is going to knock out Virgil Ortiz. And if anybody wants to discuss that, they're more than welcome to jump on here. I just think Virgil Ortiz's stylistically, is very bad against the Cal Velasquez counter puncher type style. I think that everything Ortiz does is only going to play to all the strengths of Cal Velasquez. And I saw Maurice Hooker hurt Ortiz. And he's only a 140-pound fighter who stepped up for the first time to 147. Let me see. Hey, regulator, what did I say earlier? What happens in the gym stays in the gym. Don't worry about them tips. Don't worry. Manny Pacquiao might have been working on his jab. Look said, I got Mean Machine. Virgil isn't very good. He said, hey, whenever you want to talk, we could talk, expert. I know you said you were going through a bad location. Mean Machine over Ortiz. Let's go. Hey, I don't know if you're agreeing or disagreeing, but I'm telling you, I have all the belief in the world that Mean Machine is going to knock out Virgil Ortiz, and I don't think it's going to take him very long to do it. I do not foresee Virgil Ortiz, and I need to do a breakdown of this, and I need to do a prediction video on it because I don't see Ortiz making it to the 9th round. I think Mean Machine gets him out in the 9th round or less than. I really don't see him because, again, Virgil Ortiz is a decent boxer. He can box, but he doesn't really box a lot. Virgil Ortiz has more of the classic, what they call the Mexican style. In other words, he comes forward and he attacks. We have seen all too many times come forward fighters that attack get destroyed against very good counterpunchers. Mean Machine is such a good counterpuncher that he dropped Bud. He dropped him. I don't care what anybody says. As much as I like Terrence Crawford, he was losing that fight early. He adjusted. Bud's power got the Mean Machine, but Cal Velasquez was making Bud look bad early. I remember I was doing a live commentary on that. And I was like, man, Bud is losing this fight. I was surprised. I was surprised at how good Mean Machine was doing against Bud early. But again, once Bud got dropped, Bud somehow went to his corner, got a sensu bean. Next thing you know, he goes SSJ3, and that was all she wrote. It was over because that's what Bud does. When Bud gets hurt, he supercharges, something I've never seen before. I've never seen a fighter like Bud Crawford who gets hurt and gets better after he gets hurt. Most boxers who get dropped, they're stunned. Bud gets dropped and he awakens. It's crazy. Let me see. Yep, regulator agree. I agree. That's the moderator right there. Oh, don't forget, if you're listening, if you like what you're hearing, hit the thumbs up and don't forget sub to the channel. Helps me out a lot. Over here, you don't have to pay to get heard. There's no super chats. There's nothing that you have to pay me to get your comments responded to or read. Even if I have 1 million people in here, I'm going to try to respond to every single million person that I can because y'all give me y'all's time. And by that, I give my time back by reading and answering comments. I have nothing against people who do super chats, but over here, we just talk. We conversate. Let me see. Expert said, if Mean Machine stops Ortiz, will be crazy. But Boots is a threat to everyone. So Expert Genius, I agree that Boots Ennis is looking very promising. However, just like Virgil Ortiz, he really hasn't fought that step-up fight. For Ortiz, Cal Velasquez is going to be his first real step-up fight. And I don't think he can pass this. Boots might be able to beat Cal Velasquez, but he's got to have that hard, tough fight to show that he is amongst the best of them, that he can challenge the elites, that he can get in there with the Buds, the Spences, the Ugases, even though I don't really like Ugas that much. And I think this is a great fight. for Manny Pacquiao, because now Manny Pacquiao has the chance to win back his belt that should have never been taken. That's how I look at it. Manny Pacquiao's got a chance to go in there, beat up Ugas, and show him like, bruh, this is my belt. This was never your belt. I don't even know why you have this around your waist. If I was you, I wouldn't even worn it. But since you're wearing it, I'm going to take it back. That's what Manny Pacquiao is going to do to Ugas. He's just going to take his belt back. And it's going to be I think it's going to be an easy fight. The only thing that I don't like is that Manny really doesn't have time to train for Ugas' style. Although Manny has seen so many different styles, but still, Ugas is tall, and he's a very good jabber. And when you're short and you're going against a taller person who jabs very well, you want to practice for that. That's what you want to be running drills on. Now, they could have been doing that for Errol Spence since he is bigger than Manny, but Ugas has a better jab than Errol Spence Jr., in my opinion. And it's a very straight down the pipe, precise jab. That's the only worry that I have, but I think Manny runs over Ugas and just takes his belt right back. Let me see. I like come forward fighters like Spence, Benavidez. Good boxers can bang. They have their hands in good positions to block punches. Yeah, but look. I say, yeah, but look, and your name's Look. Check this out, my dude. Or my girl. I don't know what you are, but whatever you are, check this out. That is true. Come forward fighters that have good defenses can be very good fighters. However, we saw Hooker piecing up Ortiz. Piecing him up so much that he broke his hand on his face. So, again, I think Cal Velasquez is going to be the hardest puncher Ortiz has ever been. In fact, I don't even think I know Cal Velasquez is going to have the hardest punch Ortiz has ever seen, ever felt inside of a ring on fight night. I don't know who he sparred with, but I can guarantee you when them bright lights hit him, Cal Velasquez is going to be the hardest puncher he's ever had. And being that 140-pound fighter who got sparked by another 140-pound fighter, Ramirez, hurt him, I don't think it's going to go good for Ortiz, and I don't think his defense is that good. Manny Pacquiao is a very come-forward fighter, but Manny Pacquiao has a great defense, and he fights from amazing angles. He fights from angles that you wouldn't even think he could throw punches from. He can be moving backwards and throw a punch coming forward. So the dynamics of being a good come-forward fighter, I don't think Ortiz has it on that level as, say, a Manny Pacquiao or even an Errol Spence, even a David Benavidez. Let me see. You hear about Anderson Silva versus Tito Ortiz in a boxing match. Silva is going to style on it. Man, let me tell you something. Tito Ortiz, correct me if I'm wrong because you know my MMA is a little rusty. Tito Ortiz is the blonde-haired dude that used to be a UFC champion, right? I'm going to get to all the comments, UA. I see you, expert. Look, I see y'all's comments. But regulator, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm thinking of the right person. Tito Ortiz. Yeah. So check this out. Tito Ortiz ducked a boxing match with Dana White. Do you really think I think he's going to even show up or be able to compete with Anderson Silva in boxing? Get the fuck out of here. Tito Ortiz will get his ass whooped. Like, how do you duck Dana White? And Dana White was actually going to box him. He wasn't going to do MMA with him, but he was going to box him. And the only reason why they didn't get into a boxing match is because Tito got cold feet and backed out. Now, how are you, the UFC world champion, ex-world champion, won the belt again, then became an ex-champion again? You supposed to be an elite MMA fighter, and you get scared to fight Dana White in a boxing match? And then you let Dana White talk shit about you? Bruh, Anderson Silva's going to whoop his ass in boxing. And you know what? I'm about to get to your comment, UA, in just a second. I want to say this to close out on this topic right here about Tito Ortiz. Anderson Silva is blessed by the boxing gods because the boxing gods blessed him to beat Chavez Jr. And I was so happy. I would have been so upset if Chavez would have beat him. I really would have been upset. So even though Anderson Silva came from MMA, that was a win for boxing. When he beat Chavez Jr., boxing won. Every boxing fan won. Every boxer won. Like, we all won that day. I don't care. Now, moving on. Let's see this. Did you agree with the Sean Porter versus Ugas decision? A lot of folks think Porter got lucky with the split decision. So I differ from them, UA. I believe Sean Porter beat Ugas. I don't think Sean Porter fought the best fight in that fight because he fought differently than we normally see him fight. He fought more from the outside to where, Sean Porter is the type of fighter that fights like a football player. He runs up inside of your chest and smothers his work and just hits you a lot. So I do agree with the decision. I thought Porter did outpoint Ugas. I thought it was a close fight, but I gave it 7-5 for Porter. I didn't think Ugas did enough to beat him. What's going on? How you doing?
What's up, Tony? How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good.
Hey, I got a few questions I want to ask you pertaining to the title. I just hopped in and we didn't hear too much
Yeah.
before. What do you mean by that?
Hold on 1 second. Let me hit these 2 comments right here, and then we'll get to your questions, all right? So, Expert Genius wrote, Benavidez's defense is questionable. I like David, but his defense still young. Yeah, so David Benavidez suffers from the same thing that Ryan Garcia does. A lot of people talk about Ryan Garcia, how he leaves his chin out there. That's what Benavidez does. But the only thing about David Benavidez is he's been strong enough, hit hard enough to where nobody's been able to exploit his chin just being out there, his guard not being the tightest. So far, he's been able to overwhelm his opponents to where nobody could really exploit the chin. Now, if Benavidez gets in there with Canelo, that chin's going to get tested because Canelo's going to be good enough to where Benavidez is not just going to run over him. But that is a fight I really want to see because truth be told, Benavidez should still have that WBC belt. He lost it due to cocaine. He regained it, lost it due to busting weight, and then Canelo picked it up. So I would really like to see Benavidez, the 2-time WBC champion, fight Canelo Alvarez to really see who deserves that belt. I'm going to read one more comment, then we're going to get to your questions. I agree Virgil's defense is shit. His hands is never in good position. That is why I got Mean Machine beating him, and I agree with that fully. Look, 1,000% I agree with that. Don't forget, if you're listening, hit the thumbs up and sub to the channel if you haven't already. On that note, let's get to your questions. Go ahead, hit me with them.
No, I was just asking, again, I just came into the chat, so I wasn't really, I didn't get context of what you were saying before. I was just asking, what do you mean by the title and about his fans reaping what they sow?
So this is what I mean by the title, okay? Now, we all know that a majority of, we'll say, content creators, right, that are against certain fighters, most of them, not all, back Errol Spence Jr. So the title is strictly this. I have heard rumors about Tyson Fury getting beat up in sparring. There's rumors now about Errol Spence Jr. getting beat up in sparring. There was rumors that Tyson Fury was scared of Deontay Wilder. Now there's rumors that Errol Spence Jr. is scared of Tyson Fury. And there have been a lot more rumors we could get into, but pretty much you reap what you sow. If you're going to spread rumors about one fighter, don't be upset and mad when it comes full circle and your fighter does something and other people start making rumors about them. It's not, I believe he's really injured. I don't think Errol Spence is faking it. This is strictly to the fanboys who have created false narratives over several fighters, just like they said, Teofimo Lopez, his sickness, I won't say it because they like to do special shit whenever mention what that is, but his sickness was fake to get out the Kambosos fight. There's been a lot of things that people have said. So my whole point is you reap what you sow. You talk shit about other fighters, about how they're ducking. Don't be surprised when people do it about yours. It's all fair game now.
Okay. If you're talking like that, then, at the end of the day, I have to agree that if you got to keep it all the way 100, that if you're going to accuse other fighters of doing that, then don't expect your fighter to be free of that as well, that criticism as well. Very unfortunate. I agree with you. I don't think he made it up. It's very unfortunate what happened to him. It just seemed like all these big fights keep getting pushed back, and very upsetting this year. This boxing has been very upsetting. So, that being said, okay, I just have to I have to ask you and get a full grasp of what you meant by when you said that.
Yeah, if you listen to the start of the video before I started talking to people commenting, and I had Expert Genius jump on and Ronald jumped on as well earlier. I fully explained what I mean by the title at the start of this video. But yeah, that's pretty much it. You reap what you sow. You talk shit. Don't be upset when people talk shit about your fighter and they spread the same type of rumors that you were spreading about their fighters. That's it. Ross Clyde said, even on a Wednesday, Tony ready to lose another debate with the king of the YTVC. Yo, let me tell you the funniest thing I ever heard Ross Clyde say. He called in, I can't remember whose panel it was, but he jumped on the panel. He was like, I'm 152-0, and I'll never lose to a white boy. He was responding to what Devin Haney said. That shit was funny. He was like, I'll never lose to a white boy in a debate. That shit had me dying laughing when he said that shit.
Give me 2 minutes, Tony. Hold on, give me 2 minutes. Hold on.
Yeah, you good, you good. But yeah, Ross Clyde funny. And I seen Ross Clyde. I seen that you posted a video. I just haven't had time to watch it. So I'm definitely going to watch it. I'm definitely going to watch a video that you had just dropped. In fact, we're going to link your channel right now. So give me 1 second. I'm going to show everybody where they can find Ross Clyde. Always have to go to my channels. You can find, yeah, I know it was a joke. Boom. There you go. There's Ross Clyde. I'm going to post Expert Genius, who y'all heard earlier. And I'm going to post Ronald's channel as well. So these are people y'all can sub to too. They make very good boxing content. This is going to be Expert Genius. Y'all heard him first. And then let me pull up Ronald's channel. And here goes another channel that y'all can do. And just give them a listen. You either like them or you don't. But at the end of the day, I'm just giving y'all more people to listen to. Hey, Ross Clyde, you already know what it is. When you support me, I support you to the fullest.
So what's so fortunate? It seems like it's just a small tear. So hopefully it's not nothing big. So he should be back. I mean, they say online, just looking it up, just doing basic research, they say it takes 2 weeks, sometimes up to 4 weeks, and then you should be okay if it's just like a small tear like that. So hopefully it won't affect his career.
So here's the deal. A torn retina is not a detached retina, okay? The dangerous part is when it becomes detached. However, torn retinas can lead to a detached retina. And because what ends up happening is when you have a tear, it causes fluid to fill in, all right? When that fluid fills in too much, it causes separation, and that's how the retina actually detaches. So here's my only thing about it. I'm not sure that this was just a simple tear, because if he was having blurred vision or some type of vision impairment or pain that led him to discovering, because normally when you have a small tear, you don't know about it. You normally find out about it from, some type of blow to the eye, which in boxing you get a lot. So it could be they could have caught it soon enough. Unfortunately, it's just torn. It did not detach. But as far as the severity of the surgery recovery, that's going to depend on how severe the tear was and how close to the retina being detached was. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then it was stated that it was a small tear. So, and it's good because I guess he had discovered it when he went in for his pre-fight medical examination, which just basically means that, of course, you have to get your physical done and all, check for your vision and everything like that. So it's good that they discovered it, and it wasn't to the point where it was affecting him. Like, oh, I'm starting to see stars and blurriness and all those bad things. So that lets me know that the severity probably wasn't as harsh, which is what we hope for, because we don't want any fighter's health to be compromised.
Hey, Ross Clyde, thank you for stopping by. And don't forget, I'm going to listen to your video. I just haven't had the chance to do it because I know you don't upload often. So it's like finding gold in the dirt when you do upload. So I appreciate the support. But yeah, I'm right there with you. I don't want to see Errol Spence Jr. have a career-ending injury because he's too young. He still has a career ahead of him. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's not
exactly.
like he's in his mid to late 30s to where he's already winding down.
Yeah.
The thing is, Errol Spence Jr., like this fight right here is really, if he could beat Pacquiao, which you already know who I think was going to win, but if he beat Pacquiao, this is the type of career-defining fight that sets him to the next level of earning money. You know what I mean? Like
And
this is the golden goose fight. This is what makes you the golden goose if you can beat Pacquiao.
yeah, exactly. And it's unfortunate because these opportunities don't come that often to fight the Packs and the Flows and the Nellos. These opportunities don't come very often.
No, they don't. They
So
don't.
so it's very unfortunate that it happened. I'm glad they caught it, and I'm glad. And but this one doesn't make sense to me is that people are saying he should have fought. He should have fought. People don't understand that how serious that is. When you have a torn retina, you know how dangerous that is when you go in there and fight. That is not something that's just which you don't play around with. You don't play around with your neck and you don't play around with your eyes. Those are the two most vital parts of your body in your head. And if any of those come into play, you have to pull out the fight. Because imagine if he was in the fight and then Pacquiao hit him with a perfectly placed punch, and even tore his retina even more to the point where it became an attached retina. Now with a detached retina, now you may never be the same fighter again.
Well, not being the same fighter is not even the issue. The issue is if the tear is bad enough, like if it detaches completely, it can lead to blindness, and there's nothing they can do about that. If you go blind in that eye, it doesn't matter if they try to reattach it. The damage is already done. It's over. You're not going to get your vision back.
Exactly. So that's why I'm saying how dangerous. You don't play around with stuff like that.
No, you don't. But the only thing, again, that I question is the severity, because normally you do not know that you have a torn retina. You don't know that it's torn till it gets to the point of being damn near detached, till that fluid starts filling up in there and it starts causing pain. So that's why when they say it's a small tear, I don't know how accurate that is, because a small tear you normally wouldn't even know you had. So you see what I'm saying? Like something had to have happened for him to go, see, I heard he saw 3 different eye doctors and they all came to the same conclusion. But something had to have happened to lead him to go to those 3 doctors. And that's why I question how small the tear actually was.
Oh, okay. I see what your disparity is. No, that's not true. He had went in for his pre-fight medical examination that all fighters go through. All fighters, when they have a big fight or all fighters period, they have to go through a pre-fight medical exam, and so they had discovered it that way. That's how they discovered it. So
okay.
It was.
So I didn't know. Yeah. I didn't know that came in the pre-fight examination. Like,
yes,
I just know that
they give you a physical. They check for your eyes.
Yeah, I've had all that. I've had all that done. I've had MRIs. Whenever I was boxing, I had to get every 6 months an MRI on my brain. So yeah, I've been through all those medical examinations. I didn't know that's how they discovered it. From the way that I heard it was that he had a sparring session, and then after that, he went to the doctor to be seen. He didn't like what they told him, so he went to 2 more doctors.
No. He went in to go fly and landed on Monday, and then to do his pre-fight medical examination. Excuse me, he flew on Sunday, and then on Monday he did his pre-fight medical examination where they checked out everything, and then they found it. They had found it by happenstance by checking his eyes and say, "Earl, you have a tear in your eye, and then or in your retina," and then that's how they discovered it. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. I was just listening to you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's how they discovered
it. I hear what you're saying. So I'm trying to piece it together because a lot of people were saying that he found out on Friday. All right, Expert Genius, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate the support, dude. A lot of people were saying that he found out on Friday, though, and he saw 3 doctors, and then on Monday he reported it. So what you're telling me is different from what I heard.
Yes. Yes. That's why you have to go and search it up for yourself, because then stories start to get mixed up. But no, I just looked at it, and then that's what the reports were saying. Not when people are trying to twist it and say that he had got beat up in sparring, and then, oh my gosh, my eye. No, it had nothing to do with that. He went to his routine medical check, and then they discovered it.
Okay. Okay. All right. I got you. Like I didn't know that. Like I said, from the way that I read an article and then I heard people, I guess they may have read the same article or a similar article. And then you know how YouTube is, it's just the rumor mill once the articles get put out and everybody just expands on it. But yeah, I heard that he went to the doctor on Friday. That's when it first happened. Then he went to two more doctors, and then on Monday is when he let it be known that his eye was messed up. But I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense. I never had them.
Now,
So like whenever I had my whenever.
Sorry, I was gonna say. Now, what is true? He did go to 3 different doctors. That is true. He did go to 3 different doctors to certify that what they were saying was the truth and that he could not compete. That is the truth. Now, that part is true. But the part about where he got beat up in sparring and went, no, it's just that he had went to get his pre-fight medical examination. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, whenever I had my pre-fights, I never had, because like for them to check for that, they have to use a special instrument that shines light in your eye. Exactly. I never had that. Like all they did for me was they just seen if my eyes dilated whenever light hit it and how they adjust back. But I've never actually had that extensive around my eyes for a fight. But then again,
we're talking about Manny Pacquiao, Errol Spence Jr. here.
Yeah, that's on a championship world level, you know what I mean? So they probably are a lot more thorough. But yeah, I could see that being found during that. But the thing about it is, here's what I was saying earlier before you probably joined. It doesn't matter if he got beat up in sparring. Like I was watching Expert Genius put me onto a 11-minute video of him sparring not looking so well, right? But again, I say this and I said it about the Tyson Fury whenever people spreading rumors about him getting beat up in sparring. That's irrelevant. It doesn't matter. It's sparring. You spar so many rounds, eventually a round's not going to be your round. Also, you have no idea what the main fighter was doing before he got in there with this said sparring partner. The dude could have already been exhausted whenever he went into the sparring. And one thing I did notice, and I pointed this out to Expert Genius, and you can watch it back, at 2 minutes and 40 seconds in that sparring video, right? I want you to click there and look at it. In the background, you see a guy with the nut guard on and his shirt off, which tells me he was probably already in the ring prior to this guy sparring with Errol Spence, because he's got his shirt off like he was, taking a break or he was exhausted, recovering in the background.
Yes, and that's why I don't take sparring so serious, because again, you don't know exactly the full context of it. You don't know how he went through a whole 12 rounds and then he was on his fresh new sparring partner. Is this his third sparring partner? You see what I'm saying? We don't. Go ahead.
No. I agree with you. I told a story like whenever I was like 18 years old, so I was young too, but my amateur record flawless. You know what I mean? I never lost a fight, but there was a time whenever I was doing a round robin, and every 2 rounds I had a fresh sparring partner come in. So whenever I was doing round 11 and 12, a 16-year-old, now at the time, I say 16, but I was only 18 at the time, so not that much of a difference, but still, a 16-year-old got in there who wasn't even good, but I was so exhausted from sparring the 5 people previous to him that I got worked for the last 2 rounds. Now, mind you, if somebody would just have recorded the 11th and 12th round, you would have thought I got my ass whooped all sparring, but you wouldn't have known about the 5 people that I sparred with before him. Exactly. You would have known that he was fresh as fuck when he got in there, and I had already been boxing for 30 minutes.
Exactly. And that's unfair to these fighters, man. You can't just expect these fighters you have to know the full context. You can't just take one snippet and say, oh my gosh, he's getting his ass whooped. You just can't do that.
Well, it's like another thing too, I explained that you put in, like, you spar more than you fight. So what I mean by that is you could have, say you've only fought for 30 rounds, okay? All your fights added up. Let's say you're new to fighting and you've only had like 8 fights, but you've sparred, but those 8 fights add up, equivalent to 30 rounds, okay?
Yeah.
Now, to get to those 8 fights and to have those 30 rounds, you probably done like 400 or 500 rounds of sparring.
Exactly.
So people are. This is where people who have never fought before, or ever been around a boxing gym or any like combat, whether it be MMA or whatever, kickboxing, it doesn't matter. What they don't understand in their mind is if you think a fighter's not going to look bad for 1 round out of 400 or 500 rounds, you've lost your fucking mind.
Exactly. It's just like a singer. When you go out there and sing, your voice is sometimes going to crack. You may not reach to know that you have reached 3 other times. These things are going to happen. So you can't just expect these guys to be 100% championship level every second of the fight or the sparring match, especially when we don't know how many sparring partners there was before.
Yeah,
And I would like to see that 11-minute video because I never seen that 11-minute video. All I seen was about 2 or 3 minutes. I didn't see 11.
Yeah. I searched it on YouTube. I just typed in Errol Spence Jr. leaked sparring or something like that, and it was 11 minutes.
So how long do you think he's going to be out for?
What do you mean?
Spence, how long do you think he's going to be out for?
I don't know. It all depends on how severe the tear actually is. Like it could be a short turnaround. It could be he's back in sparring in a month, or it could be 6 months, or it could be a year. I really there's no way for me to know because he's not my patient. You know what I mean? I don't know how severe it is.
Exactly. All we can go based off is what what the accounts are telling us. So if they're going based off their accounts, they're telling us it should probably be no more than a month, but maybe 2-3 weeks. But again, I can't just, you know what I'm saying? These fighters are going to tell us
always the flip side too to the coin, and Lord forbid this happens, but surgeries can go bad.
Yeah.
Anytime you do a surgery, it can go the opposite. It can be an adverse problem, like the surgeon can mess up, and now he may be blind in his eye and never fight again. You don't know until after he's on the road to recovery. It's too hard to tell.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, I need Spence to get 100%. I need him to get better, so that way Bud can knock him out and prove he's the best at 147. So we praying for Spence to get better.
So go ahead, bro.
Oh, you didn't hear what I said?
Sorry, I didn't hear what you said. What'd you say?
I was making a joke. I said we need Spence to get better. I'm praying for him to get better. That way Bud can knock him out.
Well, we'll see. Again, I have to see how he, again this, but it's so unfortunate. But I mean, it is what it is. Hopefully, he gets better. But I mean, now this Pacquiao Ugas thing, now I think it's going to be a close fight. I don't know who's going to win. I'll probably be favorite Pacquiao.
Pacquiao gonna whoop his ass.
Yeah, we're gonna see. Again, I don't know.
His ass.
Because again, we don't know when Pacquiao gets old overnight. We don't. We don't. That's the variable. We don't know that. He's in that age.
I'm telling you right now, he didn't get old tonight. Like that dude, them combos he's throwing. If he got old overnight, he would be winded. He's throwing 80-punch combos and still running around. Like he ain't old.
I'm upset that Spence didn't get able to beat his fucking ass. He beat his fucking ass. Oh my god. Oh, I was hoping and praying. I was mad. This boxing's so frustrating, bro. Now we got David Benavidez have to drop out because of COVID.
Yep.
Boxing is frustrating, bro. It really is.
Here's the problem. The PBC is taking a big hit right now.
They
lost Deontay Wilder-Tyson Fury fight. That had to get postponed. They've lost the Pacquiao fight. They lost the Benavidez fight. They lost the Canelo fight.
Yeah.
I mean, that looks really bad when they're trying to get Fox to re-up for that extra year, for that 4th year, and all their big fights are just falling away. They might lose Fox if they don't get it together.
Yeah, they might. I don't know. That's just. I mean, you're right.
And the thing about it is, I have a lot of issues with the PBC and how they move their champions, but I don't want to see the PBC fail because at the end of the day, they're really, truthfully, the only ones. I mean, Top Rank, they do have their couple of fights that are on free cable. Well, cable's not free, but on cable. But Fox really is the only one putting out big fights for free. You know what I mean? And it would be a shame for people to lose that, but they got to get their shit together because they can't keep losing these big fights.
They can't. They cannot. I mean, COVID's already happened. No crowd now this year. You're losing all these big. All your A-listers are going. Are gone. You know, it doesn't look good. It does not look good, and things are not looking good for the PBC right now. It is not looking good at all. So I hope Spence gets a speedy recovery. I hope that they're able to hopefully get a Canelo fight, however they do it, or fights, however they do it. I hope Benavidez comes back healthy. I hope these fights happen.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. If Tyson Fury finds a way out, finds a loophole not to have the trilogy with Deontay Wilder, the PBC better give Canelo whatever he asks for, or they may be done. If Canelo wants Al Heyman to come out there and pour water on his head every time he comes to the corner, he better be there pouring water on his head, because if they lose the Fury Wilder fight and they don't get Canelo, I think they're done. I'm telling you, they better give Canelo whatever he asked for, 100% everything. Because Canelo one of them fighters where if your company's doing bad, he can generate you so much money, you'll be doing good. Every loss will be made up in one fight.
That depends how much they guarantee him, bro.
It don't matter. It don't matter at all.
Canelo's not that big of a draw where you can guarantee him 40 million and gets a plant.
Canelo made, I want to say, almost $30 million against a Yildirim.
So I say that again, bro? I didn't hear you.
I said Canelo made close to $30 million fighting Yildirim. I think Canelo can bring in enough money to cover 40 million. It's just Plant's asking for too much. Al Heyman need to sit him down and be like, look, man, we can only give you $2 million. Canelo gonna get what he gonna get. You're not gonna get anything. But if you beat Canelo, you'll be able to fight for 40 million, 30 million, 20 million, if you can beat him.
Hey, what's up, Expert Genius, man? Shout out to you, bro. Appreciate the shout out, bro. Have a good one. And I don't know, man. I just PBC. It's gonna be sad.
I'm telling you right now, like they have to get Tyson Fury in that ring with Deontay Wilder, and if they have to get Canelo.
Since Spence is out for the time being, since David Benavidez is out for the time being, they need Canelo. They need that Crawford and Porter thing to come through. They need a Crawford Porter. They need Canelo to make up some of these fight dates, bro.
Well, here's the problem. I'm not convinced that Porter's going to fight Bud, because he's gone media silence on it. Like, you know, that shit goes up to purse bid in 20 days.
Yeah.
What have you heard about them making a fight?
I think they wanted to go to purse bid.
I don't know. Maybe, possibly. But at the moment, I've heard absolutely nothing about the fight being made. I've always believed Porter doesn't want to fight him. Porter even put out a statement a while back saying he didn't want to fight him.
I hope Wilder talks shit, bro. I hope Wilder talks shit to help sell this pay-per-view, because they're going to need it. They're really going to need it.
Hey, if Wilder sits hush mouth again,
they can hurt. You know what I'm saying? They need every pay-per-view buy they can get right now.
Yeah, they really do.
Wilder needs to be able to talk shit and hang with Fury, and they need it because he needs to, because they need every pay-per-view, bro, and it's not looking good, bro. It's not.
Are they even going to do another press conference?
That's what I'm saying. They need to build up for this to be perfect, because it's they might have to even have a scuffle out the way or something, and then they might have to make some shit up, because it's gonna have to be some shit, man. And then Crawford and Porter, if they get that fight, they need them two to talk shit. They need Porter to be. I need one of those motherfuckers to turn into Floyd Mayweather, bro. And
let me tell you something. I love Bud Crawford as a fighter, but if you think Bud's gonna sell a fight, you've lost your mind. Bud is the most boringest person to listen to speak. He is so quiet. He is so laid back that he's a great fighter. He is.
Yeah.
When he fights, if he fights again and wins, he'll be my number one pound for pound again. I just bumped him down to number 2 because he hasn't been fighting. Amazing
Crawford's
fighter,
not number one, bro.
but his
But go ahead.
But his personality, he doesn't really have one.
So at least Porter, he doesn't talk trash, but at least Porter, you know what I'm saying? He's well spoken, you know, he's vibrant, you know. We need him to turn into Floyd, bro. And this side, you don't want this. You don't want this.
He got to do something. He got to do something.
If I was out here, man, like Sean, listen, man. Listen, this is Uncle Al speaking. Yeah, Porter, come here, man. Sit down. As you know, we lost all these big fights. We lost Canelo. We lost Spence. Wilder got pushed back. We need you to come out, Porter, and we need you to come out and talk some shit. Because if not, man, I'm at my wit's end, man. I don't know what I'm going to do, man. PBC might go bankrupt. So we're going to need you to just show up and show out. PBC might go. I might have to go back to Steven Espinoza and start licking his boots. So
man.
I'm going, listen, Porter, I'm going to need you to come through on this one.
Look, there go another one. Like, people in my chat have been all saying that Spence is scared. Like, this is a ongoing thing. And like I said, I do not blame these people for saying this because of all the people who have spread rumors. This is what the title is. You reap what you sow.
But what I will say is this, is that Tyson Fury has dropped out before. Again, I'm not saying that his thing was not real. I'm not saying that he was making a liar. But I will say that he's had a track record of pulling out of fights. That's what I will say. But again, I'm not saying his thing is not real. So at least the LDBC, and again, I'm not an LDBC supporter, but at least they have at least a slight bit of merit here. With this Spence thing, they're just going all out, calling him a ducker, and no evidence because he's never done this before. So it's kind of like
I agree, but you got to understand, like, when certain people keep talking shit, fighter after fighter after fighter, people are on their toes. They are foaming at the mouth like a rabid animal. For one of those fighters, they like to make a mistake like this or something that happened like this, and they ready to jump in. Blood. Because this day moment is fine. That's it. And you know about it. Like I'm gonna say this. I don't have any problems with the LDBC. Somehow a lot of LDBC channels know who I am, and I don't even know how they know who I am.
I know how they know who you are.
What's that?
I know how they know.
What's that?
They know how you act.
I don't even know what that means, but check it out. Let me just say this real fast. Let me just say this real fast. Like, some of the biggest channels with sub counts that dwarf mine, you know what I mean? Like, I'm only at 2K. We talking about channels that got like 40, 50,000. We talking about channels that may only have like 8 or 10,000, but every time they go live, they got 200 to 500 people in their live chats. Like, people like this all know who the hell I am, and it's just like I stay in my own lane. You know what I mean? I don't really go over to their channels too much. Like, there's one dude that I talked to, but that's because it went before YouTube. But and we disagree a lot, disagree more than we agree. But again,
how you doing?
I'm gonna give him a minute. I'm gonna respond to the chat while he's talking. Who he's talking to? If everyone criticized Pacquiao for that shoulder injury, which he showed proof for, and still fought, then everyone should criticize Spence because he didn't have the heart to fight.
Okay, first off, what proof did we ever get from Pacquiao shoulder injury? Because I have yet to see any proof from that one. We're
going to jump on that in just a second, but let me finish saying what I'm saying. I'm going to come back full circle to what I was saying. But surprisingly, I have a good bit of subs that come from the LDBC side. You know what I mean? And I have a lot of subs who don't associate with them and probably don't even know who they are. But it just amazes me, like, how I just stay in my own lane. It's like that thing with Drew Titan, to where he called out my name thinking somebody else was me, who in my opinion didn't even sound nothing like me. Like, our speech pattern was different. My voice is way deeper than his. And, you know, that dude from after, because I didn't even know who he was, But then I checked out his channel. He get a shit ton of people in his live subs. And for him to know who I am and call my name out is just crazy to me. Like, how do y'all people know who the hell I am? It don't make sense. But we could talk about the shoulder now if you want to. I got all that out.
Hey, Tony, I know what it is, man. It's like you know Divine Sense, the channel Divine Sense.
You said what?
Do you know the channel Divine Sense?
No.
Okay, sorry, you don't know. Okay, I'd say, bro, you know what it is, Tony? Do you really want to know what it is?
Divine Sense. I'm about to look it up. Is this boxing?
It's boxing, but I was just saying as a correlation between you and him. But do you really want to know what it is? Why they got a lot of LDBC people on your channel?
What's that?
It's that Eminem effect.
See, I don't think I sound anything like Eminem.
No, not you sounding like Eminem. Nothing about you sounding like him. I just think it's that Eminem fact, right? The Eminem effect. That's what it is, man. That's what I think.
Yeah, I've never even heard of this dude. I'm looking at him. He's got 1.2 subs.
He's a good channel. I was just saying that you and him kind of have the same. You guys think differently, but it's you guys. It's hard to explain. I don't want to come off explicit or rude or anything, but where'd you Tony?
What's up?
Where'd you grow up from, bro?
I grew up all over the place, but New York.
New York, okay. Is it one of the boroughs?
No, upstate.
Upstate, okay. Makes a lot of sense.
Hey man, you ain't got to go too deep into it. You ain't got to dive into it. You keep pausing a lot, and pausing a lot.
Okay, yeah, I won't say it.
While you try to tactically speak, I guess, so to say. I mean, we could always talk offline one day whenever I end the stream, and then continue to talk, and you can say what you want to say, how you want to say it.
Okay, yeah, I think that's more appropriate.
But I hear what you're saying, but me personally, I don't understand it because I'm trying to do the same thing you're doing. Those types of people that say speak a certain way, they only speak that type of way in certain occasions. I don't think I sound anything like it. Confuses me because like a lot of people who talk or act a certain way also dress and do certain things that I don't do at all. So it just confuses me because I don't see myself in that genre or that. So I don't know. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to say this the best way I can.
Yeah, I see. Me too. Do you have a lot of black friends?
Some.
Okay.
Let me see if everybody. Oh, okay. That's back to the shoulder injury. So I will say this. I do not 100% believe the shoulder injury of Pacquiao only because Pacquiao came out and said that he was healed by salt water.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. Exactly. And Tony, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, bro, but I'm so passionate about this. Tony, there was no proof. There was no proof on that one. We didn't see any medical records. We didn't see any photos. It was just, my shoulder, and everybody ran with it. And that's so unfair to Mayweather, bro. That was so unfair because I remember, and I'll never forget this, bro. I watched a video. I remember Freddie Roach, and if you catch Freddie Roach on the right one, bro, Freddie Roach can be honest with you, bro. I noticed that sometimes he's too honest for his own good. Right. But he said that after this fight, he said right before the fight, like a couple days before the fight, he said after the fight there will be no excuses. They said there'd be no excuses from no side. The winner wins. And then what had happened when Mayweather won? He won, and then all the excuses started rolling. My shoulder and all this, and I wasn't feeling right. It was pathetic, man.
But here's my thing. This is what I'm gonna say. and this is how I honestly feel. And I do agree with this comment. Pacquiao is a GOAT. I do agree with that. I agree with that fully. That Pacquiao is one of the greatest fighters of our era and an
Yes.
all-time great. He is definitely
Yes.
an all-time great.
Agreed.
Pacquiao, I wish he would have fought Spence, because if he would have fought Spence, then because Ugas doesn't do nothing for Pacquiao. Everybody knows Pacquiao is going to beat Ugas. Some people think it might be a tough fight, but at the end of the day, even if Pacquiao lost to Ugas, people are going to chop that up to age, and not because Ugas is a good fighter.
Agreed.
So it's unfortunate that Pacquiao has to fight Ugas, because if Pacquiao would have beat Spence, this is only something that would have concreted him as being that much better, that much greater of an all-time great, to put him in, people's all-time great top 10, where I know some people will try to argue that he's not. But I would have to argue, if you go off a resume and how many weight classes, how many records he holds, he's got to be in the top 10 all-time great. And beating a fighter like Spence at his age, and Spence being at his prime, would only concrete that on a lot of people's list that are like, for whatever reason, want to keep Pacquiao out.
But that's the thing. He wasn't going to beat Spence. So I mean, that was going to be.
That's your opinion. We'll never know now. We'll never know now, because while Pacquiao was talking about me shoulder, Spencer's over here talking about me eye.
Hey, at least this is not after the fight. We have something before the fight, getting pre-examined. So this is not something that Riddle. And you already admitted out of your mouth. You said that I believe this is true.
Wait, regulator disagrees. He says, don't you know about the healing properties of salt water?
Oh yeah, bro. The salt water, bro. That's gonna really help.
Man, I'm gonna start selling Philippine salt water and then telling people that it'll heal them. Let me see. This comment right here. Pacquiao is greater than Mayweather. So I agree and disagree. I agree and disagree with this comment, because I've said this a million times. They're very, you can't really compare them when you talk about legacy, because it's two different things. So for me, if you ask the question, who is the better fighter, Pacquiao or Mayweather, I'm going to say Mayweather every day of the week, because Mayweather beat Pacquiao. So therefore, we know the answer. However, if you ask who has the better legacy, who has the better resume, who belongs closer to, say, the top 10 of all-time great list, I'm going to say Pacquiao every day of the week. Whose resume would I rather have? Pacquiao's every day of the week.
I would have Mayweather's resume, but I do agree with the fact that you're saying, you're just talking about who is, because there's a difference between greater and better, right? Better is the best, because it needs to be two separate lists. You're talking about the best fighters of all time and the greatest fighters of all time. Those are two separate lists.
Right. But here's the thing about it. You got to understand, Manny Pacquiao has some losses, okay? Floyd Mayweather Jr. does not. But Manny Pacquiao was beating the Barreras, the Moraleses, when they were the hardest thing to beat. Mayweather was beating Victor Ortiz's.
Tony.
What's up?
Man, I see this most finest piece of ass I've ever seen for a while walking by. Man,
go get it.
Sorry if I
go get it. Go get it.
Sorry if I changed the subject. Like this, I wasn't paying attention for the last, because I just.
Hey, go get it. Go get it.
She's with her man right now. Oh
man. Tell him, just walk in between them, be like, excuse me, and just start talking to her like it's your girl.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Sorry, go ahead, Tony. I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought right there. No,
it's fine. It's fine. You should have went and got it though. You should have told her, yo, I got 2,000 subs on YouTube. This is my channel right here. Look, I'm live right now.
So I see we got a Protect. We got a little Pacquiao fanboy in the chat. Those guys are toxic, bro. Those guys.
Don't forget, if you haven't done it yet, hit the thumbs up and sub to the channel if you're enjoying the boxing talk. I think all fanboys can be toxic. Like, truthfully, all fanboys can be.
But let's be honest, bro. Pacquiao has the most obnoxious fan base. I've seen many fan bases. I've had to deal with the Wilder fans, of course, the Spence fans,
I
the
don't know.
Mayweather fans,
I don't
the
know,
Canelo
man.
fans, but
I don't
I
know.
don't
I
think
don't know.
anybody holds a candlestick when it comes to the
I
Triple
don't know
G
about that.
Lomachenko fans. I don't think anybody holds a candlestick when it comes to the Pacquiao fans,
I
bro.
don't know about that. I
Be
think Wilder.
honest, Tony. Who has the
No. I think the Church of Wilder followers are the worst ones of any fanboys. Like,
no.
man, let me tell you something. I'm not gonna call out no names, but there are people who talk about Wilder who just seem like they're in love with him. Like they seem like that if Wilder wanted to, that they would just, put their cheeks in there and let him clap them. Like that's how in love with Wilder they seem to be, or they would give Wilder their wives.
Do you not?
Just to say that Wilder hit their wife. Like,
do you not understand that these people with the Pacquiao fans would drink the same bath water Pacquiao would? They would wash with. Do you not understand? I mean, because he has a whole country, a whole Filipino, country behind him.
Yeah, but you gotta understand. You gotta understand. He's got a whole country behind him, just like American fighters may have a whole state behind them. You gotta understand. The Philippines is just a little small island.
Yeah, I've heard some of the most ridiculous things. I've heard that Pacquiao could beat Triple G. Pacquiao could. I mean, oh my gosh! I've just heard some of the most ludicrous things, and it's like it's ridiculous, man. And I'm just tired of Pacquiao. I've never seen out of all the fan bases, and I get Wilder fans are horrible, Canelo fans are bad, but I'm sorry, bro. When it comes to the number one Pacquiao fans, bro, they just won't. They don't see reason, bro. They don't stop. They don't stop. I remember back in the day.
I want to comment to this comment real fast. I want to comment to this. They said Pacquiao lost to Mayweather, but so did AJ lose to Andy Ruiz. Does that mean Ruiz is better than AJ? Floyd never gave him the rematch. So I want to say this. AJ did lose to Ruiz, and yes, Ruiz was bound by contract to give AJ the rematch, and AJ beat him easily in the rematch. Now, I understand your argument where you're saying that Mayweather never gave Pacquiao a rematch, and there wasn't a two-time go where Mayweather beat him twice. However, I will say this. In that fight, Mayweather won pretty easily. He won easily enough to where I don't think the outcome would have changed if they fought again. In fact, I did a prediction for that fight, and it went pretty much 100% how I thought it would go. And the thing about it is, if you lose in fighting, if you lose to somebody, it doesn't automatically mean that person is better than you. They could maybe have a style that your style just doesn't mesh good with, and maybe that's the only person that can beat you. But then yet 10 other people you beat could beat that one guy who beat you. So it doesn't automatically mean they're better than you as a fighter if they beat you. However, when you're talking about Mayweather, who went undefeated and beat more world champions than you, then there is an argument to be had that he is the better fighter. But again, I have to come back full circle and say that on an all-time great list, I think Pacquiao's resume is much greater than Floyd's, even though Floyd beat him. So it's all how you look at it. If you're going for resumes, Pacquiao has the better resume. But if you're going for who the better fighter is, I think Floyd Mayweather is much better fighter than Manny Pacquiao.
There's a difference between better and greater. Like, for example, Tony, you may, let's just say you and me do weightlifting. You may be able to lift more than I can. You might be the greater lifter, but my technique may be better than yours, right? You know what I'm saying? On how I lift. So my muscles may come out a little bit more, if we were the same age, of course. My muscles may come out a little bit more defined because I know how to properly lift better. So those are, you know what I'm saying?
I think a better argument for weightlifting would be, I can lift more than you, but you can rep more lower weight than I can. So for instance, let's say let's go before all my injuries, whenever I was in my strongest. I can do 5 sets of 5 with 455 like it was nothing. But let's say just because I could do that, let's say you have a different type of strength. Your strength is more endurance based, where you could do 220. Oh, we lost him. I'll wait till he comes back. Saturday, Jason Maloney versus Joshua Gear Jr. Wait, what? I thought this Saturday was Maloney Franco 3. Did Franco drop out the fight? Hold on. Wait, what? Oh, you said Jason Maloney. Okay, my bad. That's the brother. You didn't say Andrew. So yeah, Andrew Maloney's fighting Franco. I'm sorry, I didn't even see. I just saw Maloney. I read that so fast. Um, yeah, but don't forget to watch the Franco fight as well with Andrew. And I think Andrew's the better of the two brothers, in my opinion. And I think he'll probably beat Franco this time because Franco faked the headbutt that never hit him. It never hit him. That was the worst call I've ever seen. Let me see here. Let's go to, because Pacquiao is the most popular and loved fighter on the planet. I don't know. He could be. I don't know. It's hard to tell because you have Canelo and Anthony Joshua, and I think Anthony Joshua might actually have the biggest crowd. I mean, he literally sold out his tickets in less than 24 hours. I don't know if anybody's moving tickets like AJ. Now, Manny Pacquiao has a lot of fans. He's got the whole Philippines behind him. He's got a lot of people in him all across the world that like him. But I think if you go off of just straight ticket sales and viewership, I would say right now Anthony Joshua is probably the biggest boxer in boxing. However, I think Manny Pacquiao is the most recognizable current boxer, meaning that no matter where Manny goes, people are going to know it's Manny. There might be places AJ could go where people wouldn't know who he was, but there's nowhere Manny could go and people wouldn't know who Manny Pacquiao is. So I would say he's more recognizable, but I wouldn't say he's the most popular boxer at this moment, if that makes sense. I don't think anybody hates Manny Pacquiao. Let me see, bro. Why you hating? He could beat Triple G. You never know. Who could beat Triple G? Let's move past that. Shout out to the Zone and ESPN all day. Nah, Tony. They know AJ only in UK. Pacquiao can sell anywhere in the world. Pacquiao also sells out. Well. That's not true. That's not true that he's only known in the UK because, you know, where was he in Saudi Arabia? Whenever he did the rematch with Andy Ruiz Jr. And then he fought in America where he took his first loss. And he sold that out too. So nobody knew who Andy Ruiz Jr. was. I did because I saw the Joseph Parker fight. However, the majority of boxing fans had no idea who Ruiz is. They just saw a short, fat guy, right? And when AJ came to America, it was initially against Gerald Miller. And a lot of people don't even know who Gerald Miller is. A lot of boxing people only know who he is because he's popped off for steroids so many times. Cheeseburgers. But anyways, so I would say AJ can sell pretty much anywhere he goes because he sold out in America, sold out in the Middle East, and of course he sells out in the UK. So I don't know. Again, I think AJ today is the more popular fighter, but I think Manny Pacquiao is the more recognizable fighter. In other words, anywhere he goes, he'll be recognized. Said, shared, true media. True media. All right, let's go. But they don't know AJ in Asia, and Asia is half the whole world. Well, you know what? I don't know if they know him in Asia, but if they know him in India, that's the other half of the world. So that's where the majority of your population is, Asia and India. But I really don't know how popular he is in Asia because I don't live there. I don't know if you're from Asia. I don't know if you're from the Philippines. You could be from Japan, China, Thailand. I don't know where you originate from. Taiwan, etc. But all I know is we'll say on the Western side of things, AJ is definitely known. He said, I'm from India. Nobody knows AJ. Man, hold up. At one point in time, AJ was looked at as a bodybuilder. Now, I know India is coming big into bodybuilding. So if they going to know any boxer, they should know AJ. I done seen the YouTube videos of a bunch of Indian people loading up over 1,000 pounds on the leg press machines and only doing quarter reps with them, having like 30 people sitting on top of the leg press machine. I done seen them videos. They got to know who AJ is because he's built like a bodybuilder. I don't believe that. I don't believe that they don't know who AJ is in India. These are jokes. But I'm going to give Leonard just a couple of more seconds to get back on here. If he doesn't come back on here, we're probably going to end the stream here. This is only meant to be a 1-hour stream, and we are at an hour 30 minutes. Overall, pretty good stream. If you've been listening, don't forget, hit the thumbs up and sub to the channel if you have not yet. He said he is known, but not like Pacquiao. That's what I'm saying, though. What I'm saying is Pacquiao is more recognizable. But when you look at actual like viewerships and ticket sales, what really matters when it comes to finances, AJ is outdoing Pacquiao right now, currently. AJ, it's like all things. The younger, newer model always gets all the views. The older models tend to, not get as many looks. It's just how the world's designed. It's always something newer, better coming out that people gravitate to. And then when the new best thing comes out, they leave that for the next new best thing. So again, I do believe that statement that Manny Pacquiao is more known in India and more known in India. I said in India twice. More known in Asia as well. And he's probably more known in the West. However, he's not moving tickets like AJ, and he's not getting viewership numbers like AJ. That's all I'm saying. So we agree and disagree at the same time. I'm saying he's more recognizable, but I don't think he's the most popular boxer. That would be in between Canelo or AJ, in my opinion. Look at this. Look said, I want to see an IG live of this coward getting surgery. No, you want the IG live going of his eye being operated on. That's crazy. That's the only way you'll believe it. You won't believe it any other way. AJ is in his prime. Pacquiao has sold near to Mayweather in terms of pay-per-views. I don't think AJ could sell that many pay-per-views out of his hometown. Well, here's what you got to understand. AJ's pay-per-views are a little different than Floyd's because they don't cost $100. They cost $20 or a DAZN membership. So AJ's pay-per-views are set up a little bit differently than how they were of the past, because back then when they were at their biggest, streaming really wasn't that big like it is today. Let me see. I'm curious to see though. I just want to see this before I get off. Most viewed. I'm seeing if I can find. Trying to see if I can find some numbers. Hold on 1 second. So right here it says Ruiz versus Joshua 2 brought in millions of views, but it doesn't actually give me a concrete number. Yeah, I don't know. It just says millions of views. But again, it's not a fair comparison because Pacquiao's pay-per-views cost more money, whereas AJ's only cost $20. Let me see. That picture he posted was BS. Anyways, wasn't it supposed to be his left eye, not his right eye? I didn't even know he posted a picture. I've typed it in to try to see the picture. I've typed in several times Errol Spence Jr.'s eye, and I haven't seen any images released. Where are you seeing the eye injury? Because I can't find it on Google. Any picture released. I've seen like pictures from the car wreck. I've seen pictures with like, I've seen him with like, I'm looking at a picture right now from TMZ with the bandage over his eye. Let's see here. We are going to save this image. And I'm actually going to replace. So here's what I'm going to do. When this live stream goes down, I'm going to have a new picture posted to it. Hold on 1 second. Give me 1 second, guys. Bear with me. I'm not looking at the chat. I am switching up the photo to this live stream to a picture that shows him here. All right, so whenever this goes down and loads back up, y'all will be able to see a picture with his eye covered. I'm going to go to this article. Errol Spence out of surgery to repair torn retina. So he's already had surgery. He's already out of surgery. Spence had surgery to repair his torn retina, posting a picture wearing a bandage on his right eye after the procedure. Okay, Lady Chan, I'll go right there right now. Check out Lady Chan's channel. I'm actually about to get off, but lady, if you want to jump on before I go, you're more than welcome. Like always, I'll post this. Hold on 1 second, guys. I'm gonna jump over to Lady Chan's channel. I'm also gonna plug her channel too. Let me go over here. Take that in. Boom. Community. Yeah, so that's the same picture that I put up, Lady Chan. That's what I changed my thumbnail to. What you have here, I already loaded up on my thumbnail. So I'm gonna go over to his Twitter because that's what I'm being told to do, and see if I can bring that up. Hold on. Okay, here we go. We're going to his Twitter. I'm gonna try to share this too. I'm looking on the Twitter. I don't see his eye on his Twitter. You sure it's not his Instagram? What day was it posted? Because I'm looking at his Twitter right now. Yeah, I'll come over there, Lady Chan. If I'm around, not at work, I definitely jump on your channel. But yeah, I'm on his Twitter right now and I don't see it. He said, Tony, just imagine if Pacquiao was American. I mean, Pacquiao didn't need to be American. He's big enough. But like all things, as fighters get older, they lose popularity, no matter how good they are, how great they are. Yeah, I'm looking at the Twitter right now and I don't see it. Let me see if I can figure out how to share this. Hold on 1 second. We're going to share screen and then maybe he can guide me to it. So hold on. Let me do this real fast. And then after this, I'm about to end the stream. So this is his Twitter right here. I don't see anything about his eye on Twitter. I just see where he's talking about 3 doctors. Yeah. So I don't see it. If it was here, it's gone now. So I discussed this way earlier in my live. So that's not necessarily true. You can have a torn retina if it's a small tear and not even know that you have it. You could definitely have a torn retina and not know that you have it. It's only whenever it gets severe that you know that you have it, whenever it starts causing blurred vision, you know, maybe spots of like where you go blind. Looking at lights hurt, pain behind the eye, pain in the nasal cavities from the fluid filling up. But you don't have to know that you have it. Normally, when you start feeling the pain, it's getting to the point of where it's about to detach. Let me see. She said, "How you see 3 doctors in one day and then surgery the next day?" Hey, Lady Chan, all I can say is when you have money, things happen quickly. They happen very fastly when you have money on that type. When you have millions and millions and millions to spend, or you have a corporation that's backing you that wants you to get in the ring as soon as possible, yeah, they could get you in front of a lot of doctors very quickly. I don't know. I've said this earlier. I am not mad. The title is You Reap What You Sow. I'm not mad at people saying he's ducking. Because if other channels can say other fighters are ducking, don't be mad when people are saying Errol Spence Jr. is ducking. That's all I'm saying. Don't be mad at it. It is what it is. People started this shit with ducking. So, I mean, I don't, yeah, keep that same energy. I said that earlier, right there. I said them words exactly. And I said, don't get your panties in a bunch. I said, pull down your skirt and put on your pants. Because whenever people are talking about your fighter, don't get upset. Because you were just talking about theirs being scared. You were just talking about theirs getting beat up in sparring. Now people saying yours is getting beat up in sparring. It is what it is. It's how it goes. But I'm about to end this live right now so I can eat some dinner and get ready for bed. But as I said earlier, and as they keep saying, and they will always say as time goes on, you reap what you sow. You get what you give. And if you don't like it, then stop doing it. On that note, I'm out. Y'all have a good day. Don't forget, hit that thumbs up on the way out and subscribe to the channel. Thank y'all for listening. Oh, before I go, let me do this. I forgot to do this. Hold on, Lady Chan. Don't leave yet. I said I was going to plug your channel and I got lost. Before we go, I like doing this. People who support me, I always support them. Whether they're bigger, smaller than my channel, it's irrelevant. I support those who support me. You can check out Lady Chan at this link right here for the playback. On that note, we are out. Y'all have a good night.